Hello everybody, welcome to All Sports Weekly episode 31. I am Trevor and with me this week I have Brendan.
Hello.
Hey mate.
How are we?
Good. Flew in.
Straight in from Knights.
From the airport.
Yeah.
Straight to All Sports
Media
Weekly.
commitments.
Mate.
Media commitments.
It's that sort of commitment that we're looking for.
Well, that's it. I heard there's a big show coming up later in the year.
You're trying to get onto that one?
I am.
Yep. The end of year finale.
Yep.
Righto mate. Yep. Like I said last time, I want to sign you on a big money deal.
Yeah.
You happy?
Yeah, I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting.
Guys, we're flying the flag with the NFL season starting tomorrow. A bit more about that in a minute. But yeah, guys, we're on YouTube, we're on Spotify, we're on SoundCloud. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, that sort of stuff. Thanks very much. And let's just get into it, mate. It's a big week. First of all, what have you been watching this week, sir?
A little bit of everything. Did you see England and India?
Talking about the cricket?
Yeah.
I did see a bit of that, yeah. You've been watching that?
Yeah, a little.
Yeah. I've watched a little bit of the Socceroos as well, mate.
Oh.
World Cup qualifiers. We've beaten China 3-0, which I was pretty happy about. And we've beaten Vietnam 1-0. And they've won 9 or 10 games in a row now.
That'd be a good multi.
Be a good multi. And Australia looking well placed to qualify for the World Cup in Qatar. Still can't believe we're having it there. In Qatar.
In Qatar?
Yeah, I mean, it's a joke, really.
Yeah, well.
It's like, anyway, that's a whole another debate. All right.
Another episode.
Let's talk about the cricket then, mate.
Yeah.
The fourth test has gone the way of India. England won the toss, sent them in to bat, and looked like a good decision. India's first innings, 191. Kohli got a 50, out for 50, which is the best runs he's got in the series so far. He's been out of form. And then England come out and got 290, so commanding lead. But then the second innings didn't go to plan for the English. And our boy Rohit Sharma got 127, saw about 300 balls in the process, 400 balls. And England capitulated at the end, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Folded.
They did.
In the end, it wasn't a very good idea to send them in.
No. I would like to see the stat of, like in Australia, you never send the team in, do you? You win the toss, you bat.
No, that's right.
But England's a bit different. Yeah. So.
In so many ways, Trev.
Really? Well, the ball swings. You like a bit of swinging?
Oh, well, you know. Back to All Sports Weekly.
Right, I digress. Yeah, so look, it's a good little series they've got there. We're now 4 tests in. India are leading the series 2-1. So England have to win the 5th test to tie the series at Old Trafford. India, you know, they're a bit of a force. I'm not a fan necessarily, but after they towed us up last summer out here, and now they're looking like maybe winning a series in England, they're a team to beat.
Who's that bowler that took them apart?
You're talking about the Indian bowler? I think...
Is it Yadav?
Yeah, Yadav and...
3 for 76 and 3 for 60. Handy.
It's
not bad.
So yeah, they're interesting. And just with an eye to the Ashes, obviously, guys, there's been some assurances made that the Ashes will happen. That's a fact. But what English squad comes is the thing. It'll come down to our government, or governments, plural, and what sort of T's and C's we put on, you know, arrivals, quarantining, that kind of stuff. The players basically don't want to quarantine. And considering that it doesn't start till December... English players.
Yeah.
They're not going to do it. And I think you can also use this for the Australian Open tennis as well. If we want to have that at the end of this year, start next year, there'll be no quarantining, or the players won't come.
Yep.
That ship has sailed. Whether you agree with that or not, we need to open up, frankly. So whether we get the full Monty Ashes with the full English team, not sure. They've also got other stuff in England, like Stokes is out with mental health at the moment, probably their best player, with no set date to return. Some players missed some Test cricket to play IPL before that got shut down. So what does the English Test team look like in its trip to Australia? Don't know, mate.
Don't know. I've got a question around this cricket.
Hit me.
So, what is it? 3 weeks in between sort of tests?
In between tests out
here?
So,
out here?
Oh no, they'll play 5 tests in about
Oh, it's over about
8 weeks.
8 weeks.
Yeah, they don't. Sometimes they'll
So it's
have.
pretty tight.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
you cannot quarantine, like
No,
state to state. You cannot do that.
no.
It's going to be impossible. And what about the G and the SCG? Like, they're the two big ones.
Yeah, I think by then, full crowds, fully vaxxed, full crowds. Let's go,
They could have played on Dubbo.
Mate. Hey, look, don't be knocking Dubbo. All
Oh,
right?
hey.
A weekend
I
in
forgot
Dubbo, a weekend in Dubbo can change your life. All right. So, anyway, so look, looking forward to the 5th test. That's happening. Starts tomorrow night. Bring it on, mate.
Yeah.
Okay, let's change tack, mate. A bit of NRL.
NRL.
The finals are here.
They are. And,
Yes.
just quietly,
Yes.
Tommy Turbo.
Well, let's start with that. I mean, his individual form is sensational.
So I think it was Michael Innes
Yeah,
that stated, and I've got I've got something down here.
righto.
That,
Such good preparation.
He hasn't seen a more influential 15 NRL games by a single individual ever.
I tell you, it's hard to argue. He missed the first 5 rounds. He'll probably still win the Dally M, even missing 5 rounds. The last player that comes to my mind in that sort of form was Jared Hayne, 2009. That was He just was playing out of his skin each week. Took the Eels to the grand final. Didn't get the job done on the day. Were robbed by a team nearly $3 million over the cap, but hey, I'm not bitter at all. So let's talk about that. We'll talk about the 4 games, but I reckon the pick of the bunch is this tomorrow night, this Storm and Manly game.
Yep.
Storm at home in a final, they don't lose that game.
No.
But you've got this Tommy Turbo factor. Manly playing out of their skin.
Yep.
I don't know if you saw them last week. 110 metre length of the field tries. Turbo, he broke like 8 tackles in one of them. Like, these guys are playing well. Yeah. What a game. I don't know. How do you think this is going to play out?
Well, look, you can't go past Melbourne.
You can't.
It's as simple as that.
They're just constant. So it looks like Munster's going to play, although he's coming back from a knee. Addocar's got a hammy, won't play. They can cover that, I think. But I honestly think that that Storm Manly, it's going to be a cracker. It would throw a real cat among the pigeons if Manly can win. Because that's just not what the Storm do. I don't have the stats in front of me, but the years that the Storm get this game, they win it. They get the week off, they get a prelim, and it just all goes to script. If Manly can roll them and knock Storm down to the other side of the draw and make them play again, it'll
So who will they be playing if Manly do roll them?
They will play the winner out of the Roosters and the Titans.
Okay.
The loser of that game.
How about the Titans sneaking in?
Well, let's talk about that one, mate. So the Roosters are limping in with injuries. They've had a terrible year. But Victor Radley's back. Jared Arria-Hargraves is back. The Titans snuck into 8th on the last day. They've got nothing to lose, really, have they?
Exactly.
It's a free swing. There's a few so-called experts who reckon this could be a bit of an upset. What do you reckon?
Well, what has a Gold Coast football team done apart from hold back and lose finals? Well, I can't remember a Gold Coast football team being in the finals.
A single, in any code you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In any code.
It's been a graveyard for sporting
Remember
teams.
the Gold Coast Seagulls?
Yes. Remember the Chargers?
Yeah.
What were they had a basketball team at one point.
Oh.
Remember them?
Yeah, I do remember them.
They also had a A-League team.
Yeah.
It's the boulevard of broken dreams, mate.
They're on their second AFL team.
Yeah.
Let's go again.
Yeah, the AFL team is a problem. Yeah, I take your point. I mean, the Gold Coast community could really do with something to get behind.
Yeah.
Kevin Proctor is back for them this week. Jaden Campbell playing good football at the injury of AJ Brimson. Fafita, I don't know if he's the highest paid player in the league or he's very close to it. This is the game. He needs to show why he's getting that money. He needs to lift. And I wouldn't write the Titans off, But anyway.
Good roughie.
Yeah. On the multi.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. I can see you going through the odds.
Oh, I am. Right now. Right now I'm trying to tie it into a multi with the AFL.
Right. Yeah, yeah. The other one, Panthers and Souths. So Look,
Panthers.
Panthers. I heard one of the pundits say Cleary. It's death by 1,000 cuts. Cleary doesn't excite me much, but he's just solid as a rock. He gets to the percentages. He kicks to the corners. He doesn't make mistakes. He defends well. He's just robotic, consistent. You know what you're going to get. The Latrell Mitchell suspension has made this guy Blake Taff, who's played 5 games, is going to play fullback. That's a high pressure role, especially against Penrith, because Cleary just likes to bomb and bomb and bomb. Old mate here, this Blake Taff, he looks about 12. I don't know if you've seen him. He looks like a little kid. He had want to get his sleep because he's got a big night coming on Saturday night, and a lot will come down to him. Even if he plays well, I just don't think Souths can beat Penrith, but we'll see. You'll
be loving this next game.
Let's talk about it. Eels.
Eels.
Can my beloved Eels break the longest premiership drought in the league?
Oh, how long?
1986.
I thought you were going to say 86 years.
No,
hold on, let's settle down.
1986. I mean, there are teams that have never won the league, the newer teams like Warriors and stuff. But as far as the older teams, it's the longest drought. Can we do it? We're 4 wins away from the flag, mate.
Well, if the Titans can get up, why not?
The Eels had a really, really good win against Melbourne 2 weeks ago and then rested all their players for the final round. I get it. They want to freshen them up. All those players come back in. But we got spanked. So it's about momentum as well. Time will tell if that was a good move or not.
Yeah. So 2009 was the last year the Eels were
in the
granny.
Lost by 4 points. Melbourne had that premiership stripped.
Yeah.
Systemic rorting, cheating, millions of dollars over the cap. They lost that flag and the other one, forget who they beat. But they got the...
That was when they were stripped of points and they...
That was, but unfortunately it didn't come out for a couple of years.
Yeah.
So, it's a sore spot. Don't worry. It's a sore spot.
It'd be good to change it up.
Yeah.
It'd be good to change it up.
Yeah. Penrith were the dominant team all last year and just lost the granny. Mm-hmm. So there's that old, got to lose one to win one sort of rhetoric. Not sure. But, anyway. And just before we move on, just a quick little mea culpa. Last week we had James on the show and we were talking about the QRL. And I was saying that they had scrapped the last 2 rounds. It's actually not the case. The reason I said that is because the QRL website says that. And I've been back on the website all week trying to work out who's playing the games and so forth. It's not even up there. It's a really poor... I know it's only the QRL and it's not a big league, but you can't even... I don't even know where...
If you're going to have a website, you do it properly.
The website says that the regular season is over, and then I get on my news feed on Facebook, the Tigers lost on the weekend, and I'm like, what? There's a game on?
Were they postponed through COVID?
Yeah,
is that what's happened? Or?
And James was saying it last week, but I was saying, well, no. Anyway, the QRL is still playing this weekend, and then the final start next weekend. But where are the games and who are they playing? If you can find out, you're doing better than me. Okay, NFL, mate. Season starts tomorrow. Now we've got a new season, back to sort of a normality. Full crowds, vaxxed, everyone's just going for it. Dallas Cowboys, America's team, are going to start the season. They travel to the Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They're going to unfurl the premiership before the game. There's this guy, his name's Tom Brady. Not sure if you've heard of him.
Yeah.
Heads up, has the best opening week quarterback record of all time. In the 21 years that he's been playing, he's only lost 4 games in the first week. I think Dallas are going to have their hands full.
Same here.
Talk to me about the new season, mate. Are you fired up?
Oh, I'm fired up.
Yep.
The pod. Here it comes. If you're on any of my social media, you are going to see a lot of Miami. Miami's form going across. Mm. So look, the Bucks have got it tomorrow.
Yes, they have. I think so. I mean, week 1, anything can happen. But I don't really follow the off season heavily, but I've been doing a bit of research this week. The bookies in the NFC have got Tampa Bay by a mile. They're convinced. If the bookies know what they're talking about, They reckon that Tom Brady and the Buccaneers are a good thing again this year. Can he win another premiership, another Super Bowl? Again.
Of course he can. He's
Again.
running out of fingers.
He's running out of fingers.
He's running out of fingers, but you guys, the Rams,
Yes.
you've got to be a chance.
Honestly,
there has to be half a
I'm
chance.
flying the flag here, and I'm saying this honestly. I honestly think the Rams can win the Super Bowl this year. If they're not one of the best, say, 4 teams in the league, I'm not here.
So I was reading a little bit on the Cardinals. What do you think of the Cardinals?
Not much.
No, well, I was reading that they could be a smoky.
Well, the NFC West is going to be a big division because 49ers look pretty strong as well. Now, just a heads up, to win the whole thing, the bookies have got the Chiefs and the Buccaneers a repeat of last year.
Yep.
Buffalo Bills and Baltimore Ravens are nipping at the heels there. It will represent a little bit of a change in the order of things. For years as a Miami fan, you had the Patriots to deal with.
Yeah.
Tom Brady moves to the NFC, you're thinking, hello, and then the Bills come up and start to look pretty good.
That's right.
You must be just beside yourself, mate.
Well, look, I was talking to Ray Finkel
Yep.
the other night, and it's been going on for years.
Right.
You know, and we're going to struggle. We will struggle. Okay, we play the Patriots.
I don't think you're like a bad team.
Round 1.
But you'll struggle to make the playoffs, I think.
Oh, look, I have them there.
Do you?
I have them there. Yeah.
Is that just...
That's just me.
That's just
me.
Yeah,
But
right.
realistically, we are going to struggle this weekend against the Patriots. But you know,
I don't know about that.
I think we will. I hope we get up.
You've got a good record against the Patriots too. So...
Not when it counts.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, like...
You're going to see some of the old stalwarts there. I think, Green Bay will be thereabouts. Rams should be right up there. But there's some changing in the winds in the AFC. I think Cleveland are looking really good. And that's a division, the AFC North, that's just been dominated by Pittsburgh forever.
Yeah.
Not sure about Pittsburgh. Big Ben looks a bit long in the tooth. I just don't think much there. I think, the Browns are on the up. But it's, I bring it on. I can't wait. Can't wait for the season.
What about Carolina?
Nah, don't do much for me. But I want to put this on the record. I think the Rams will win the Super Bowl this year. They're about 3rd or 4th favourite in the betting. But bring it on, mate. Can't wait for the season tomorrow.
Yeah, it'll be awesome.
Yeah, it'll be good. I'm looking forward to it.
And Monday, when I'll give you a ring and say, hey, we won.
Yeah, well, I think I've picked you this week.
Yeah,
I'm not sure.
Well, I have.
Yeah.
I can tell you right now.
Yeah. No, I bring it on. It's going to be interesting. There's a whole other story about the vaccination of players, the way that players who've chosen to not be vaccinated are treated by the teams. They're like training on their own, brought in only on this, like a whole thing. That's going to happen here next year. America's just that bit further down the road,
It won't happen at Carlton.
Why?
Well, we need a coach to train.
we'll
get onto that.
All right, well, let's change tack. Let's talk about AFL, mate. Now, we've got 2 massive prelims to come this week, but before we talk about those, let's look back to last weekend. Geelong 103 beat the GWS Giants 68. Geelong, far too slick. GWS run out of puff.
Yep.
How big of a difference was the Toby Green factor? Did it even matter?
It's almost like you read my bit of paper.
Really?
Because I wanted to know, I was going to ask you, do you think Toby would have made a difference? And
I don't think he makes 30 points difference.
See, the amount of times it went down there, look, is he kicking 3 goals and having 3 or 4 assists? Next thing you know, it's a 5-point ball game.
Sure.
So,
yeah, I guess.
And you've got it on record now, Toby Green is possibly the best player in the league.
He is an interesting guy. He's a very good player. He's very grubby.
Oh.
Very grubby.
His whole career's been grubby.
Yeah, he plays on the edge, doesn't he?
He does.
Just, the suspension. You happy with all that? Like, he had to go.
He had to.
Yeah.
What gets me is there is a blatant rule that states that you cannot touch an umpire.
Don't touch the umpire.
And when you see what he did, it was a standoff. He ran through him.
He did.
And it doesn't matter how hard you hit the umpire, he hit him.
He did.
He touched him.
He did.
And that's how it is.
The other semi last weekend was, I thought, one of the best games of AFL you'll ever see. It was a final for the ages. The Gabba pumping. Lions 78, Bulldogs 79. Hell of a game. You watch that one?
I did. I watched it all. It was probably the best game, you're right.
Yeah.
For the year at least.
Oh, it was a cracker.
It was fantastic.
I was a neutral, honestly, edge of the seat, heart pounding. I thought that was a hell of a game of footy.
you can see on, I think, Twitter or somewhere that Jeremy Cameron is watching that game.
Really?
And it's one of the only ones, he only really watches the AFL finals because he's preparing each week and stuff. And the last 3 minutes he commentates, and it's actually the emotion that he shows, and he's Geelong.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
It was. If you don't like that, you don't like AFL.
And I've just got to say the better team won.
Yeah, I think so. Bailey Smith was a star.
What's the go with his celebration?
Apparently, it's not about vaccinations or getting high. It's something to do with one of the NBA players does it, and he's a fan.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I don't think it's about that.
Well, I saw it from behind. I'm like, should you be doing that with the mullet from Footscray? This is probably not the greatest.
He has a good vein, doesn't he? Look, okay, so the Lions have gone out. Now, let's just look at the Lions for a moment. A good season, but they've lost 5 of the last 6 semis. Lachie Neale, breaking news, has actually backflipped on his decision to leave. When I wrote this, I was like, Lachie Neale's leaving. It's actually not the case. That's a shot for them.
Did you hear why?
No.
Well, he gets an extra couple of weeks off at the end of the year.
Boom. Ouch. Well, anyway, I don't know what I'll make, so I'm on speed. So, Brisbane, is the premiership window closing?
It's very much closing.
You think?
It's very much closing. And with
Can they
straight
come back
sets,
next year? And
look, Fagan has won 1 final out of 6. And when you've been up there for the last 3 years, you'd have to say if it's not next year, I think it would have been almost shut if Lachie Neale had a went.
But this is like the Chris Scott argument where they're losing finals, right? But they're in them.
Yeah.
Okay. There'd be a lot of teams who'd like to be having a problem of, well, we lose in the finals.
Oh, I have no doubt that they will sit back in the finals again.
Right.
But I think the premiership window
Yep.
is going to slowly fade away.
Interesting. Yeah. That was a big one to lose the other night, wasn't it?
Oh, huge.
Yeah. There's a lot of chat. Now, I watched the game. I thought the refereeing was fine. But there's a lot of noise about the referee. I saw a couple of bad calls going both ways. Did you think the ref played a part in this result?
Not at all. And I have to say that the amount of times that the refs get, the rough end of the pineapple, shall we say, I think Brisbane are forgetting the umpiring in the last round that got them the double chance.
Yeah.
So it goes both ways, and sometimes you only ever remember the last game.
We talked about it on All Sports Weekly earlier in the year about interstate teams. I went to one game where the Lions won by 10 goals, won the penalty count by 2-1, and booed the umpire out the thing. Like, maybe it's just because I'm exposed to the Lions living up here, but I really feel like they just think that the umpire's against them every week, and that's kind of football, but it's also a bit of a negative sort of cancer in the culture of the fans, I think. I just like to see them lose one game where the ref didn't cost them. Just once.
Yeah, exactly. It'd be nice.
Yeah. Anyway, but that's just a bit of a rant on my part. Let's look forward, mate. We've got 2 huge prelims. Melbourne Demons, Geelong. Now, listen, mate, I went back into the All Sports Weekly archives, episode 21. Quote, Brendan Brimacombe, Melbourne will not win the comp. End quote.
Yes.
Do you stand by that?
I stand by that.
Do you?
Yep.
They're looking good, though.
They are looking fantastic, but you know what? You got Petrika. Is it Petrika?
Petrakos.
Yeah, whoever he is.
Right.
You got him and Oliver.
Yeah.
Clayton Oliver.
Okay.
Those 2 guys, bit of yin and yang, like Petrika's not a hair out of place. Oliver,
Scruffy.
Oh my God, looks like he rolled out of bed every day, But together, they have pushed Melbourne to where they are now.
So Melbourne win the minor premiership, come out and just destroyed the Lions. Got a week off. It's all there. Geelong, patchy finals record. It's going to be a great game. But I reckon just quietly, Demons fans have got that champagne on ice.
No, well, I also remember that episode 21 where you said the Cats.
Yes,
they were Cats.
At the start of the year, they were my tip. And they're definitely in there.
And I believe that Port Adelaide's sitting there as well.
Well, let's talk about that one, mate. Port Adelaide at home against the Dogs.
Yeah.
The Dogs played so well last weekend, but the amount of energy that they've spent, I just wonder if that's their grand final.
It may be.
Prelim, Port at home, rested, week off. What's your thoughts, mate? Give me your 2 winners and Yeah, let's talk about who's going to be in the grand final, mate.
I think it'll be Cats Port.
Okay.
Okay, I'm going with what we stated weeks back.
Yeah.
Only because I really just look. Melbourne's got a big chance. You know, like
They got a big chance.
the aging Cats, as
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But
There'll be a bit of fire in that game too.
watch Tui. Watch Tui for the Cats this weekend. Last weekend he had 31 touches. I think he kicked a goal and he had 90% efficiency. And you know,
Solid.
that's
The game's going to be won or lost in the midfield. Seems like maybe an obvious statement, but that Geelong midfield, Selwood's out of form. You know, there's a few players there. They've got big names, but they need to come and deliver. That midfield battle is key. I know Geelong has been my tip for the flag, but I'm hoping Melbourne win. I'm go the Demons, and I've got Port winning in the other one. I think.
yeah.
Thoughts?
No, that sounds good. I think Port will get up. Look, if the Doggies get up, like, do they deserve it? Of course they do.
Yeah.
Like, to get over the line last week, and then back it up this week.
I'm going to give you about 30 seconds to talk about Carlton.
All right, 30 seconds. So
Team's
the Carlton
gone.
situation, the team's there. They're having a bit of a break. They've got an extended break, possibly. Like, you know, you don't come back to training unless the coach gives you a call.
Yeah.
And that's pretty hard when you don't have one.
And who's the coach? Yeah.
Well, that's just it, you know. Like,
Alistair Clarkson, do you want him as a fan?
Not really.
No.
Not really. Like, I would love him if he came to the club and had a passion for the club to bring the club back to where it was 20 years ago, you know?
Yeah.
I think that the rumours of $12 million.
Ooh, what? To get Clarkson?
Yeah, for something like an 8-year deal or something. Like,
a lot of money.
that's a lot of coin. That's a lot of hot dogs.
But they got it. Carlton
Of course
got money.
Of course they do.
But
have you seen that?
That is a lot. That is a lot of money, though.
That's a lot of money. Look,
for that money, you want someone who's all in.
Yeah, that's right. He's coming back for the money, but he won't be there. And stupid statements have made the Carlton Footy Club look a little bit ridiculous, you know. Mm-hmm. So we want an experienced coach, blah blah blah, and then you shoot yourself in the foot. So we'll see what happens.
Okay, mate. Quickly chat about tennis, just quickly.
Yep.
US Open is happening. Naomi Osaka gone, had a meltdown, blaming mental health. She just doesn't look like she's cut out to be a professional sportsman. That's fine. I'm not sure if she's coming back. Barty's fallen over. And we've got basically, like women's tennis can do, a real vacuum. Don't make me say these names.
Yeah. Well, her first name's Emma.
Emma. Let's go with Emma. The English girl against the Greek in the semi. And Fernandez, who's really just a wild card, is taking the tournament by storm. Is going to play Sabalenka in the semis.
Yep.
Who would know who's going to win that one? And we're up to the men's semi. Looks like Djokovic is going to play Zverev.
Yeah.
He's still got to beat the Italian. Zverev beat Novak in the Olympics. Be a bit of feeling there. In his quest to get to the Grand Slam.
Mm-hmm.
Medvedev is still there, the number 2 seed, looking like a showdown. So we'll chat about that a bit more next week, mate.
Yeah, cool.
You watch much tennis?
I do. I sat up last night and watched that Great Brit, that young
Emma.
18-year-old Emma. Go Emma.
Return
Classy.
of Brendan's beef. Time is short, but hit me. What's your beef?
Okay, I got a couple of. I got a bit of beef around Fagan.
Hit me.
You were talking about the fans of the Brisbane Lions. They think he's God, but one win in 6 finals appearances. That's not God. That's not God-like. That's not anything to do with God.
Mm-hmm. You're going to be triggering a few people here.
I know, and I know one in particular. And also the way David Teague was treated, it's just not on. You know, have a bit of dignity.
Poorly treated.
When you're going through something like that, the one thing you don't want to lose is dignity, and they've done that.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. Yeah, so who'd want to be a coach, honestly?
Well, I put my hand up, but they haven't got back to me.
Maybe your phone's not...
it's on silent.
1 more minute.
Yep.
Should Tasmania get an AFL team?
Yes.
Are you a fan of the nighttime AFL Grand Final?
I'm undecided.
I prefer the day.
I like the day. I like the fanfare, like the parade, not so much...
Tradition.
The Angry Anderson in the Batmobile, that sort of thing.
Will North Melbourne get the wooden spoon next year?
No.
How many weeks should Toby Green have got for his bump on the ump?
I think
Throw a number.
3. 3 was fine. 3 was fine.
I reckon 10. Should Roger Federer retire?
No.
Cool.
Why would he?
Okay, mate. That's all we have
Awesome.
time for. Thanks everybody for watching. Thanks for coming on.
See you later.
See ya.